Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of On the Paint Table. Is my weekly show where you see what I got done, what I'm working on, and what is coming up. So this week we painted some Song of Ice and Fire stuff. I got some new Song of Ice and Fire stuff in the queue, and I got some other various bits and bobs I'm working on for a bunch of new games. A bit of progress on my stuff for Breachstorm as well. So we'll take a look at what got done and the stuff that is in the queue to come up. Alright, so here's what I painted this week. We painted some Cleganes, starting my Lannisters. I hadn't painted Song of Ice and Fire stuff in a while because I literally finished everything I owned. There's nothing else, so like for the factions I was playing. So I started my Lannisters. I painted some Cleganes Mountain Men, which are super cool. And I painted the Mountain that rides himself, Gregor Clegane. And then down here I painted the High Sparrow, my favorite NCU commander for the Lannisters, and I painted Cersei, my second favorite NCU for the Lannisters, because she's awesome. And that was what I got done this week, so I had another 12, 15 models done. The Cleganes were all done by airbrushing them some dark metallics, and then base coating all of their colored bits with that new Wraithbone from Citadel, and then giving it a wash with various contrast paints. So I washed the padded armor here, Skeleton Horde, the skin and the hair with I think it was the Fire Slayer flesh, and then various browns, and then the Eand and Dark Sun for the yellows and stuff. And then went back and highlighted it all, so it's all had like a highlight afterwards. And I washed the metallics with some no gloss. Cersei was actually painted the same way. I used the pink and red contrast paints over a Wraithbone spray, and then just went and picked out details and highlights afterwards. I think I used the Eand for her hair as well, and it's super easy to paint models like this with the contrast paints because they got a lot of nice recesses to run into and make them nice and detailed. And then Sparrow was the same way. I think it was some Skeleton Horde on his robes, the Yandon, different, like maybe with snakebite leather for the ropes and stuff, and then a skin tone and some gray, and then just went back and picked out some highlights and stuff. Got some tufts from, what's it called? Not Green Stuff World. Tufts from Gamer's Grass, and also huge minis on there, giving us some nice sort of like different looks of bases. I wanted the Lancers to be differently based from the rest of my armies. All my Northmen are all on like a darker brown base with a you know, patches of snow and some burned grass and stuff. So this is a nice change, painting something new and something different. Of course my Boltons will be part of this army too. On the paint table, they're not here, they're at home right now. I've also got some Casterly Rock Knights and some Pyromancers to paint up. And then probably 2 guard units with captains will round out my first run of the Lannisters. Lots of other stuff I'm working on this week. I want to finish my throne. It's been primed for a while. We played a bunch of games with it. But I do like having it for on camera as an activation marker. So I'm just going to do all the pommels and stuff and give it some washes probably this coming week. And then I finally got my hands on Starks 2. Clarence actually drove it down from Heroes World in Markham, because none of the online stores in Canada had it. I couldn't get it. Nobody local could order it. So he found a box for me, and he was here today playing some games. He actually drove it down, and so I have it all primed up, along with a box of these fellas, who are some Night's Watch conscripts, and we also, he was nice enough to grab for Owen the Lannister Heroes 2 box as well. So we got the Stark Heroes 2, we got Rickon and, not Osha, Rickon and the Spearwife? Is it Osha? I can't, no, Osha's the Reed. Anyway, and Shaggy Dog. We've got over here Syria Farrell and my favorite, which is, what's her face? Arya with her little sword. She's got Needle there. Do some stabbing. And then we've got the 2 Reed kids. Mira and the other one. Mira and the boy, the Seer. The two Reed kids. And they are ready to rock and roll. I get some paint on them too. I'll probably paint up Arya and Syrio first, and then maybe Rickon to try Shaggy Dog. He's a vicious dog. I'm not sold on him yet because he does make a unit worth another victory point. And then you might have noticed my conscripts aren't primed until Night Watch Heroes 2 comes out, and they might form the background of a list with all the artillery in it. They're not getting painted. They're not, for 4 points, they're not getting into the list. They're not getting into the list right now. Just the recruiter will, and he's a great 1-point attachment for Night's Watch. And then I got some contrast paints down on my Breachstorm stuff to give that a try hopefully next week. And I'll pick out little details probably over the weekend. And over here I got some more Night Small stuff to do, my Bane crew. A couple more dudes for the Suicide Squad that I get painted up to play some Batman, and then Dr. Zoom and some loot. I got a couple of last models I need to paint up right now for my Panoceania and Varuna as well. I've got my Zula Cobras all done. This is my, what's his name? He's the Echo Bravo, the jumpy dude. Comes in the side. He's got his little backpack monster. And then I got another awesome Whisper Mini to paint up for my Ronin team in Gamma Wolves. Super cool fly model there. So that's what's coming up and what got done. All right, so you go another on the paint table and another 15 miniatures done. Some Song of Ice and Fire stuff, lots of cool stuff coming up. We'll have some Song of Ice and Fire next week for you to check out. And yeah, there's lots of things on the go. It's gonna be a big month. We're in that season where like a million new things launch, and I never really get to choose what I'm working on, but I got to take a break this week and paint some Lannisters. Hopefully I'll get them done before the end of the summer. So we'll see you for more on the paint table next week, and of course tomorrow for some Witches and Wonders, where you can check out a new product for doing some precision pivoting on your Song of Ice and Fire stuff, which you might have, if you were paying close attention, have noticed actually on my 2 units that I painted this week for the Lannisters. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time for more on the paint table. Till next time, I'm Ash. Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to support the channel, of course, like and subscribe and hit the little bell below so you get notifications when I post future content. I do post stuff 7 days a week. If you want to support the channel further, you can, of course, buy a t-shirt through Spreadshirts, buy a measuring gauge or objective markers from Death Ray Designs, or, of course, most importantly, there is Patreon. Patreon is what makes all this possible, keeps the lights on, pays for the studio costs, pays for the equipment, model costs, and everything else, and most importantly, puts food in my kids' bellies and a roof over their heads. Big thanks to everyone, past, future, who supported me. I do this stuff because of you guys, and of course, I will continue doing it as long as I can.